be rid of it, if that makes sense. Also, I think my Twitch has done the thing again. I note what it is after you have there. Let's see. Let's see. Closed my chat window when I refreshed. Huh. There we go. I think I fixed it. But anyway, yeah, it's interesting. Because I don't really like writing for the sake of writing. I need some reason to do writing. Ah, yes. Yes, it's a good idea, Quad, because it definitely did do 2 blips in, what, 10 minutes? Maybe less? Probably less, honestly. A little less. Clyde says my internet issues are also local. I'm waiting on the Anashti to ISP house connection. Oh, I thought that they came today and you fought off the wasps to let them in.
Well met.
They came to diagnose it. Is that what they did? And then they're like, "Oh, we'll be back next week." You know what? I think you're gonna make it through these hard times. It's gonna be all right. I believe in you. They came and discovered the problem, patched it out, but the entire underground cable needs to be replaced due to damage that the power company did. Wow, nice. Oh man, Stream Elements is now announced on live again. That's great.
The blessing of Tunar is the highest blessing of all.
Oh, well, thank you for your contribution, Echoes. Yeah, I think the channel points are interesting. I'm sort of still learning about what they do. I saw somebody showed me that you can highlight messages. They can do some other things. I cannot think of any of those other things, but it's doable. I thought the highlighting messages thing was cool, and then there's that goal, you know. I figured out the goal thing. I don't really know what kinds of goals would be wanted, right? So like, what would people enjoy that could be made a goal? Considered like doing something like, okay, I can, buy something off the marketplace if I get so many channel point donations or whatever. But yeah, I don't really know what would be enjoyed, you know? I think that's the way to go with that. So I actually did the see me on webcam one because I thought, I don't really want to mess with a webcam, but if people want that, then hey, you know, they can donate to that and I'll do it. I'll figure out how to make that work. Well, let's see here. Bart says, I stopped streaming about a month ago. I have some alerts set up. I do not have any channel points set up. Yeah, I think I got the alerts properly working. I know at first they were just, wow, they're so loud. But I fixed that and turned them way down. The channel points thing, it took me quite some time to learn exactly what those were, how you get them. Apparently you can get them from just watching the channel, but also you can get like extra ones per hour or whatever if you're a subscriber. And I think you can earn them in some other ways too, but I don't really know what all those other ones are. So, yeah. But they do seem neat. It's a cool little reward for watching the channel. I think that's neat. I saw something about drops, and those look super cool too. If you're playing certain games, apparently the watchers can earn like items in the game for watching your channel while you're playing that game. And that's really neat. I wish there was something like that for EverQuest too. And at some point I may, you know, send in some suggestions about cool stuff that I think they could pretty easily do that would be neat rewards as drops. You need to fix your account so that you can claim your drops. Now see, now you've lost me. Fix your Twitch account? Is it something wrong with your Twitch account and you haven't been able to claim them? Or is it just not set up? Ah, password stuff, I see. That's unfortunate. I think the drops concept is pretty cool. I did figure out how to make obviously the image for the Copernicus coin, which I thought I enjoyed that. I thought that was neat. To be able to make your own image for your channel point coin. That's a cool concept. And then I figured out how to make some emotes. I don't have any idea if that's something people are really interested in or not in, but I thought it was cool. And then there was an animated emote that you could add as well, which is super cool. And then you said, in other news, I just equipped the mod that I earned from my mission, which means I now have 3 horses. Ah, nice. Ah, Jibba Jibba has posted a little dude. He's like maybe an octopus. Ah, a mission makes more sense than omission. I wondered what you had omitted in your dream or not, but I wasn't gonna ask. So your little octopus guy, where does he come from? Ah, he's a global emote. That's a little devil dude in your octopus dude. I mean, I can't tell who the guy is, but it looks a little bit like David Duchovny in the 90s. Then we've got some other guy with purple flames, and are those hands? They're hands with purple flames, maybe? An ad starting in 36 seconds. So what do they mean? Like, when you use, okay, what would be the takeaway, right? For someone if you were to post a little octopus man to start with, what would that imply? Now, if that one there quad is popcorn, then I understand. And I get the thumbs up. Thumbs up makes sense. And like dancing? Okay, I get dancing. I'm not sure. There's a little lost. I'm not very visual, so you gotta cut me some slack here.
Greetings.
Some of them are more simple, some of them are contextual and pop culture references. Well, sure. So now, Jibba says, level 70 Wiz going into LOTRO and mentor. And then it's like a dead dude with his hands out and some purple.
Yes, I'm keeping busy. Thank you for asking. May Tunar bless
Still
your
don't know
family.
though. Still don't get it.
No, I haven't got to foozle wicked. Or whatever it
Is that supposed to be representative of the wizard in question, or is this the reaction to the wizard? I see that the ad is going now. I feel like a valley girl in the 90s, but I don't get it. What says, I find that usually emotes are used to express an emotion about the message or the situation. Right. Kind of pays not to overthink emotes. I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess, what would possess someone to use the emote in question, though? Right, because you've got a bunch of different emotes that you can choose from. Really, like just huge numbers of emotes you can choose from. So what makes them choose that particular emote out of all the possible emotes they could be using? Like, I get that one with the ads and the like, oh my god face. Like, okay, understand that, and I would agree that would be used to express the message of the situation. It makes sense, right? But I don't understand, like, when are we using octopus guy? You know what I mean? Like, at what point does the user go, okay, this is the moment to pull out the octopus? Alright, now Quad says that's an example. That email was titled, What Face? What Face? Okay, sure, yeah. That's all fine and well. When further to send a surprise and frustrated. Sure. Yeah, no, I get that. That one to me is very, very clearly on point. And I can find lots of reasons that you might use that, right? Because it's sort of this horrified, oh my godness to it. Okay, now Jibba says every moment is octopus moment time. And now we've got the what face in the tentacle. And I could see that maybe there's an element of humor to that. Do you build your own octopus when you do that? I notice it's in blocks, and you can just put whatever you want. Is it just wherever you want? Could you make like a 3-headed octopus tentacle, for instance? Is it build your own octopus time? That's what I need to know. Like we got the Build a Bear workshop, and we got the Build a Octopus workshop. I'm gonna call it a Build a With the Face. This computer I'm looking at the chat window on is so angry with me. It's like, you have no space on this computer. What are you doing even? Quad says often emotes are just a way for your chat to participate and be silly. Alright, alright. So let me see. I don't know if I can access any of this. So I'm going to click on stuff for a whole second. Oh, okay, alright. So, like, I got this guy. I like him. He was fun. But, like, he's moving. That's why I like him. And he's obviously crazy. Emotes is how you bypass TikTok filters. Don't apply logic. Unless it's the end. But there has to be, like, some logic here, though, right? Like, because people choose certain things. And, like, there's a reason for that, right? So, you know, I don't know. I just want to know. What is the reason? What's it mean? There's only sometimes a reason? But says for me, I've had to learn to stop trying to figure it out. See, like, at least I understand the spamming thing. That makes sense to me. I understand they're working on, you know, scamming people, but that's easy. I just block them. But I need to know. I need to know about this stuff. You know, it's like I want to make something that people will enjoy, and I don't know what that is. Right? What's the motivation? You know, because for me, I'm old school, and so I've got smiley face or winky face. All right, and that pretty much covers my range of internet emotions. Otherwise, I'm like LOL, right? Other people, they do like laughing, crying. Well, let's be honest, I'm not crying, laughing, alright? At any point when I'm interacting, there's no crying, laughter going on. The most I got for you is laughing, which I think is covered by LOL, right? So. Quad says, I'm pretty sure if you use your Google Foo, there's a website somewhere that explains current emote language. That's probably true. Yeah. I figure there are some basics, right? Like wow, right? Or like sad face, or, you know, things like that, right? Like the oh my god face, you know, that seems like it would be something that we utilize pretty often. Dang, I guess I better, like, make these things instead of chatting for a whole second. Because I'm gonna run out of time. I have lost my opportunity on this guy. I think I should. See how it goes. It's not great. Whew, close one. Alright. Quite says I found a few that I like and I use them. I like the dancing cat and devil horns gal. Also, I sometimes spam pineapple pizza emote because I found it hilarious that people still argue about this. What about pineapple on pizza? I don't have a whole lot of feelings about pineapple on pizza, personally. It's it's whatever, to me. I remember the first time I was introduced to pineapple on pizza. That was a very shocking experience for me, because the concept of putting something like that on pizza is surprising. The first time that you encounter it. But as to caring deeply about it at this point, I wouldn't say that I do. Quad says it's like people who complain about the snow or the heat. It's like, what are we spending our time talking about here? Well, I guess, I can discuss such things if it's brought up,
Well met.
I hate the cold, I like the heat, But I think maybe part of it is just conversation filler, right? And also sometimes, depending on the situation, it can be people looking for affirmation from others, social construct to talk about the weather in order to find common ground with others.
To be among the highest leaves and branches of trees, to feel free.
Seasonally, though, living in a snowy place, you get so tired of hearing people complaining that it's snowy. They're surprised. Right, yeah, I mean, sure. And it's sort of like, in Texas, and it's hot in the summertime. Well, yeah, I mean, it is. It's hot in the summertime. This is true. Um, Same kind of thing. All four looking for the places where people's circles of experience overlap and need connection with each other. Yeah, we do. We definitely do. Yeah, I agree with that. It's sort of like when you are living your life and you get choices, right? So you can choose, essentially you can choose to be happy or you can choose to be sad. You can choose to be angry. No matter how good your life is, if you look around hard enough, you can find something that you're displeased with. But in that same manner, no matter how bad your life is, if you look around hard enough, you can find something to be pleased about. And it's one of those things that I think part of people's dissatisfaction is more because of a failure to find the things in their lives that are satisfactory, that are happiness making, right? Even in the worst kind of scenarios, you can find that there somewhere. And I think people have forgotten or never learned how to make the best of a bad situation. And I don't know, but I feel like that's kind of connected to what we're talking about in a way. Or in my mind, it's. Good job. Hot is an understatement, too. To Texas, you'll get used to it. It'll be okay. You'll be alright. Clyde says that I find it difficult to connect, and once probably thought that I was allergic to people. Well, I think it becomes more difficult as people draw in on themselves and away from society, as people spend all of their time online and in non-physical communities. I think it becomes more difficult for people to connect in person with each other, and the opportunity to do so presents itself less often because since we're all at home on our computers, that means that all of the locations that were previously available for mingling, for meeting new people, and for sharing experiences in a physical manner And that can be from anything, like putt-putt golf or skating rinks or whatever, whatever kind of physical location. Those places have mostly shut down because of the fact that people are online or they're on their phones and they're not out experiencing the real life socialization that was previously available and now is not. Clyde says, I think that's a good summarization. Yeah. And of course, it's deeper than that, but I think that's a lot of it. Clyde says, yeah, for my personality, I like the people that need help so I can be of service to them. It's easier to talk myself into going outside if it's for someone else's benefit. Lately, I would rather just stay inside on the computer, do some stretches, and hydrate. Right. Yeah, and it's, like I said, it can be very difficult to connect with other humans in real life. More and more so as time goes on. And unfortunately, it's definitely a problem that's it's getting worse. I mentioned earlier taking my children out of public school. Unfortunately, that's a common theme right now. A lot of people are doing that because there's no real benefit to keeping them in, and it seems better to take them out. And at that same time, it's removing another opportunity for people, not just our own children, but other people's children as well. It's removing that opportunity for them to interact with more diverse humans. In my case, as I've mentioned a number of times, my oldest son owns a comics and card shop, and so my younger children are, they have a lot of social interaction with a variety of people of all ages. However, even in those conditions, it's not ideal because they're only interacting with the type of people who come to a comics and card shop, which is not just everyone. That's not a diverse spread of people. It's not, it's not only one type of people, but it is a particular, you have to be a certain way on some level in some way in order to come to a comics and cards shop, right? Comics, cards, and games thing, right? So it is limiting their exposure to the broad spread of people that there are in the world. The broad spread of people that there are in the world. And I think that everyone is suffering for this. Societal trend that's been going on. Okay, Ford says, thinking back on my public school socialization growing up, I don't think that there's an anti-method way. There are pros and cons about the way that I grew up. Sure, absolutely. That's definitely true for everything. There's no perfect system. And like I said earlier, I'm not at all down on anybody's choice regarding, what they're doing for the day. Yeah, it is absolutely a matter of choosing how to do the most good in your child's life. Sure. You make decisions And all you can do is make the best decision that you are able to make, right? And that doesn't mean it's the best decision. It's just the best decision that you know to make as a parent. And so, that's all you can do. And you say, for me, with 2020 hindsight vision, I probably would have left them in public school, but I have my own reasons for that. Like I said, all you can do is make the best decision that you can make. And so, 2020 hindsight, being what it is, it's something that you have a certain amount of information at the time, and you have to make your decision based on the information that you have. So, no sense in, regretting things that you can no longer do anything about it. No reason to dwell on such things. Quad size, which is a lot when you think about it, because some people don't even try. I try not to judge too much on that either, because in my opinion, I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what it means, to try from their perspective. Just because it may not appear that they're trying, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not trying. And so, it's difficult to say. I'm not in their shoes, and it's not a matter of being in their position, it's a matter of being them. Thoughts. No R in my strengthen. Very good, very good. Excellent. EverQuest 2 rather says, don't betray your former self, as they say. Right, yeah, because sometimes you have to just accept the fact that the decision that you made, while not being the best decision, may have been the best decision that you were able to make at the time. Due to your own issues, due to limited information, whatever the case may be. Well, on yesterday or tomorrow, or just today. And that's not to say don't prepare, right? Because it's important to do what you can to be prepared for the future. And it doesn't mean not to, change your behavior as a result of something that happened in the past. Certainly learn from things, but, you can't spend your life in the past. As I always tell people, life only moves in one direction, right? So where you're at right now, that's where you start from. Every day, every moment, you make decisions, and no matter where you're at, you need to look at where you want to be and where you are, and what do you need to do to get there, right? Because you can't go back. What's done is done. Quiet says everybody definitely has their own story, and unless you understand it, it's best not to judge. And there's also the question of whether you can understand it, because at the end of the day, they are who they are, and you are who you are, and that's all that affects how they behave versus how you would behave in their position. Because you can't be them, and you can't understand how their brain is working. So yeah, that's just the reality of the situation. EverQuest says, my mom laments how she raised us, and I always tell her not to use the wisdom of an 80-year-old to judge the wisdom of a 20-year-old. Yeah, absolutely, because, again, like I said, she only knew what she knew, and realistically, as long as she was doing the best that she could do, then what more can you actually ask, right? Claude says, I know that from my perspective, I cannot see everything that is going on in the universe, so my best decisions are limited by the glasses that I wear. Absolutely. I'm glad we figured all this out. If we could just get the UN and some other world powers to consult with us, we would get stuff figured out. Right. probably occasionally take a gander at my quest I'm working on here too. Little cut neck. Oh, so nice. Underutilized words are utilized in EQ2. I'm gonna say that. It's something that I noticed a long time ago. I've mentioned Magic the Gathering a number of times, and it's something that I've played since 1993. So I'm very, have a long history with Magic the Gathering. And so that was something that I noticed when I was a child, when I started playing it. I had a very good vocabulary as a child. I did a lot of reading. And so it was interesting to me that I encountered certain words for the first time on a magic card. It was very surprising. I was like, let's see, it was 1993, so I guess I was 11 when I started playing, and so it was like, it was very surprising to me to learn new words that way, and you know. I find that also in EverQuest they use some words that not words that I don't know necessarily, but words that are very underutilized. You see, Quad, during that commercial break, I completely changed the subject on. Now we're talking about word usage. Interesting. EverQuest 2 says I never heard the word real until this day. Well, it's cool. You know, I think it's really neat when, like, a game, whether it's a video game, card game, whatever, can teach you something that, you know, you have never, in this case, never encountered before, which is awesome.
Well met. Salutation.
I'm trying to think back if there were any words that I learned from EverQuest 2. I'm gonna say I'm not sure. I can't think of any right now. But that doesn't mean they're linked. Claude said, my father was not a reader, but one day he caught me reading a dictionary and he asked me if I wanted some books.
The blessing of
The dictionary is super interesting, actually. You know, you find out the etymology of all kinds of words there, the correct pronunciations, you can find, you know, and then you can find out about language in the first section of the book. There's a lot of really interesting things in the dictionary that people don't realize is there. Clyde says, I had no adult supervision, so the books I checked out at the library were more aimed at adults, just like modern fiction stuff. Well, right, but I mean, that's fine. I read, so I started reading Stephen King in first grade, and that would definitely be aimed at adults. I don't personally think I suffered any from reading adult books as a young child. My parents were very laissez-faire about such things. And that way, you know, I could read what I was interested in. Let's see, Quad says, when one of my teachers saw I was reading, she suggested that every time I sit down to read, I have a paperback dictionary with the book, which was paperback on one side, and look up any words I did not understand fully. That was one of the best habits. That's interesting. You know, when I was reading, as a young child, I definitely didn't do that. In fact, I don't know that I ever used the dictionary like in that manner, right, to look up words, because my father was very intelligent man, and basically, if there was something I didn't know, I would just ask him. He would tell me the answer. And so actually I had a very well established vocabulary by the time I was very young. So let's see, Jibba Jabba says, "Oh my God, me too, ha ha ha." Well, it wasn't first grade, it was before middle school. No, it was literally first grade for me, actually. And I, you know, the teachers didn't really know what to think about that, but because I think that they didn't really approve. But it was this was the 80s, you know, so there wasn't much that they could do about it, because my parents did not mind me reading whatever I wanted to read. So Quad says, my grandfather would come to stay with us for a couple of months at a time, and he would subscribe to the newspaper, and he noticed that I was reading the LA Times when I was 7 years old, and commented on that to my parents. As a weird kid, my favorite TV shows were In Search Of and 2020. Okay, so you're gonna have to enlighten me, because I was also a weird kid and a weird adult as well, and I don't do much in the way of watching TV, so I don't know either of those. I assume that the title of the TV series is In Search Of, and the title of another series is 2020. Right, In Search Of was a documentary TV show that examined strange things like the disappearance of pallets in the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, so like unsolved mysteries type thing. Or the Titanic disaster. Okay, 2020, like 2020, like vision? Quad says 2020 was a news show and still is, I think. Yeah, you know what? I think I've seen that come up on a screen before, but I may have not been watching TV by then, because I would say, okay, I never watched a lot of TV, and became less, and I wasn't watching any at all at a certain point, none, and it was like maybe 1990, I would say maybe probably 91 or 92, when I just completely stopped watching any TV whatsoever for quite a while. And like we just turned off the TV at the house because we weren't watching it at all. And so yeah. Rod says, yeah, they do feature-length article episodes on bigger topics than you would find on regular news. God, I would have loved that. Well, it's easily done. You can just turn it off, you know? It's just like that. I remember it was down to the, like, my brother was watching one show a week, and it was called Red Dwarf. I never even watched it. I don't even know what it was. I just know that was the one thing that anyone in the whole house was watching at that point. And I remember my father was just like, "Hey, do you guys ever care if I just turn this off? Because, I mean, you've got one show that you're watching, and is it worth it to have that on?" And my brother was like, "Well, no, it isn't." And so he was like, "Okay, do you mind if I turn it off then?" And he's just like, "No, it's fine." And so, yeah, that's what we did. Clyde says, as a growing up, the TV was always on at my house. I would go to my room in the backyard, get a lovely big, where there was no noise. Yeah. Wow. I've always been able to tune things out anyway, so it really didn't matter to me whether the TV was on or not. I can actually hold a conversation with someone while reading. It's something I've always been able to do. The only time I can't do that is if I'm reading something really technical. And it's like, we're not talking fiction anymore. We're talking about something that's very, very technical. Requires like more of my brain.
Well met.
Yeah, problems processing auditory stuff. That's a problem because this is all, we got a lot of auditory going on right now. If there are two people talking, I cannot understand how the one of them, or song is playing in the background of the TV. Okay, so you have trouble like focusing on one thing. That's definitely something that I've seen other people have. Ah, Jibba Jabba, thank you for the contribution. You guys are gonna get there, I tell you.
No, I haven't got a foozle wicket, or whatever it is you're looking for.
And then I'm gonna have to figure out how to make it work. Ah, yeah. One of the few things to do with your channel points. Well, give me some suggestions, guys. What would you like to do with your channel points? I saw something. You said the word train here, and it's got my brain off on another subject. I saw something about, I think it was called a hype train. I have no idea what a hype train is. This Twitch stuff, it's a whole new world for me. I've been streaming for like a month, but prior to that, I never watched anything on Twitch or anything. I'm just totally unfamiliar with the way it works. So it's kind of one of those deals where I'm just learning constantly about everything. Well, thank you. Definitely not an old hand. Just, I've done some research as I've been trying to just learn as much as I can about the way everything works. So I've seen the hype train thing, but I don't know how to use it or what it is. I am definitely an old hand at rambling on and on. See, EverQuest, he gets it, right? I can do that. It says basically Twitch sells things like subscriptions, something they call bits, etc. Okay, I've seen references to bits, but I don't know really exactly what a bit is. It sounds like it's a form of currency. A certain number of people purchase a certain number of things in a certain amount of time. They consider that increased inertia on a spinning wheel They call that event a hype train. Okay, so it's about people spending bits on things. What do you use bits for? What's the incentive for you guys to use a bit? It's a way to catalyze behavior of more people buying more things to make a bigger hype train. Oh, okay, to tip the stream. Okay, cool. All right. Glad says to be fair, it's also a way for chat to show positive input to the streamer. Okay. So if something that, that the watchers really enjoyed was going on, then they would, cast essentially their votes for more of that by using the bits. Kind of thing. Nice. Yeah. So I've got my hat out, and then you throw your bit in, and then I know more of this. Interesting. All right. Good to know. I had seen that there was a little page on the Twitch, I guess creator page or whatever, where you can look at different things. Again, I don't think I've seen it. And I saw something about bits, but it's really unclear what it is. Clyde says, yes, but there are ways that people can show appreciation without spending money. I'll follow you into this video and chat. Just being present because it increases your viewership numbers gives you a better rank in Twitch standings. Well, of course, yeah, absolutely. Support of anyone in any endeavor is always more than just monetary things. There's no, that's across the board. The ad break has begun, it seems. I didn't notice the warning this time. Yeah, so you can support financially or with participation both. Yeah, absolutely. Totally get that. But yeah, you're absolutely right, EverQuest. I am very good at talking to you. You can do that. Normally, I do it in more of a conversation. I have humans that I talk to. But I can do a travelogue if that's what the situation requires. Sometimes I think of it like that, right? Like, and on your left, you have Scholar Al-Kulab. He offers you the credits quest a strange black block. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely you recognized me as a good rambler for sure. And, I don't disagree. It's
Greetings.
pride and true talent that I have. Came down the line all the way from my grandfather at the very least. He could really go on. Actually, you should hear my brother when he gets started on more things. And I think I think that would be something fun for everybody to hear when he starts talking about. And we can do it on anything, not just EverQuest. We can talk about. Oh yeah, the Kino's music is pretty nice. But yeah, we can go on about. He knows the Magic the Gathering lore very well as well, which I've mentioned many times. Magic and just did a little earlier. I was always more interested in playing the game and the social aspect of that too. And he was always, he's a very good Magic player, but he also was very intrigued by the lore. He's always like that. But he's the same way with real life. Like, he's more interested in, the history of things. So. Okay, now I'm seeing something in chat right now, and this is interesting information. And Daja says, I learned today that new characters won't be able to start in Caliphate and Myriad. And he's talking about after Echoes of Faydwer comes out. Bugger Joyce is interesting. I wonder why. And Don Ruffington wants to know why. Zaid says, yeah, I read that. What's up with that? Huh. Interesting. I haven't read that. I wonder where they read that. It must be... I don't know. I'm not sure. I wonder if it was posted. I have to say. Alright, Quad says, I can relate to that. I like the history of things, the background, the context, often people tell me I'll swim in the deep end of one topics. Yeah, sure, he's very into it. Just overall. Jibba Jabba says, oh my god, it's like joining a hardcore Lord of the Rings guild in Lord of the Rings Online. So many conversations before in guild chat. Lord of the Rings people are passionate. I'm sure that's true. And there's so much lore there to be had, so much to be found, so much to argue over, Quad says, I feel like most people do this thing where they only talk about surface level things. And to me, it feels like they don't really care about the topic and didn't want to talk. They just wanted to say something to fill the void, but I don't judge because I'm not in their head. We've come full circle. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Sometimes it's like when people ask, how are you, right? Or how's your day going? And they don't really want to know how you are or how your day is going. They just want to display interest. It's a sign of I'm paying attention to you. They're not paying deep attention. They just want you to know that they see you, and they don't really want a conversation necessarily. As Lohar posted the thread in question. Let's see what we got here. Alright, so this is posted by Angeliana, which is the person in charge of all this business. Keep reading the code. We have the 411 on when Echoes Faydwer will be unlocked for Anashti Sul. Get ready to jump right into it on December 10th, 2025 at 12 p.m. Pacific time. This unlock will feature over 350 quests. Hold on. Sorry, gotta click buttons on the crafting thing. Can't be messing up the work order. Alright, but let's see here. 350 quests, 70 zones, player housing, and more. Get yourself ready for some great fun. And then there's a trailer. Okay. Let's see if she has answered anything else. Someone says a playable race with this update. And then Alizar responds, they were on the beta, but we were told you couldn't start in the phase starting zone. We had to run level 1s over to Caliphate to get the quest there. So okay, so you can play as a Fae then. You just can't start in that zone. Okay. Interesting. I wonder why. Creative Farms said Dazzles H says the farm post about it. I link it here. Kobe Joy says maybe it's just a beta thing. And Dodger says not what the dev said. It was not clear, I don't think, from the dev. I'm going to go back to that. Because the dev didn't see the dev weigh in. Let me go back. The dev is Angeliana, and I don't see any comments on her from her on whether that's correct or not. I definitely better get this knocked out. I'm towing the line here again. I don't know that I'll... Yeah, surely I'll be able to do it. Gotta definitely put a little fire under it to get this one. Got a little distracted there. Let's see, Elijah says, also asking out on the maps. Faith said that wasn't a bug. Hopefully it's just a beta thing. Elijah said it would probably be unplayable for me, I'd be lost all the time. Interesting. Okay, Don says when you add something, there isn't a map for it, for that. Well, we'll see how it goes, I guess, guys. But it looks like you will be able to play as a Fae anyway, at least they were on the beta. It starts you in Pre.1.
Let us meet later for a goblet of wine. I'm sure you have great tales to tell.
89.2% into the next level, by the way.
Well met.
Or he has intended the treasure hunter, please.
No, I haven't got to foozle wicked, or whatever it is you're looking for.
Alright, I'll probably have to take a break after this writ is over. It also says this is not a bug that origin server caches scaling. That's what Kate said. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't see that. Oh wait. Hold on, let's see. Let's go back over there and have more. Yeah, I don't seem to got it here. Maybe it's a different link. I should also put another level during this with, which would be cool. So that'll put me up to level 46 in the crafting area. Not quite 48, but a lot closer anyway. You know, back to Lord of the Rings people, to the Jaguar you mentioned earlier. I've never played Lord of the Rings online. I have heard good things about it from certain people, but I've never tried it. I do know, though, that as far as being passionate, Lord of the Rings people in general, people who are interested in Lord of the Rings of any kind, seem to be pretty passionate overall. Whether it's the movie or the book or anything, it's just the world of Middle Earth is just such a expansive thing. And it's, captured the attention of so many very hardcore people, and we have a board game that's it's Trivial Pursuit for Lord of the Rings. The thing is that it's Trivial Pursuit with Lord of the Rings movies, which I haven't watched. I've only seen bits and pieces of them because it's of no interest to me to watch a movie that I've read the book of for the most part. Because I tend to find that I am unhappy with the Hollywood rendition of most books. Claude says, I feel like Lord of the Rings people died as a rule because the books were so readily available for so many years without the cultural movie series. Yes. And so you have the ones who are very interested in the movies version of events. And you have those who are very interested in the books version of events. And there's a pretty wide spread there. And again, like I said, I didn't watch the series myself, except for just bits and pieces when my kids had it on. But I have no interest in watching it. However, I still can manage to do very well at the trivia game because A, I've read, the series, obviously, and B, I what I do is I take what I know of the book, and then I think, what would Peter Jackson do, right? So I think about that, like, what was Peter Jackson's view? And I can pretty much get most of, a lot of it right just from that. Of course, sometimes you get asked very strange questions like, what was the species of moth used in the scene where Gandalf was in the Tower of Orthanc or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't see it. So, first of all, I don't know my species of moths off the top of my head. And second of all, I didn't watch that scene. So, how would I possibly know this answer? That's actually a question in that Trivial Pursuit game, by the way. The species of moth. Incredible. Kind of blew my mind. But anyway, it's interesting to play that game, having not watched the series, and try to come up with the answers to these things that are often not like the book. I can tell you that. Like, the answers to these questions may, but often do not, align with what happened in the book. It's interesting. However, it is now 8:45 p.m. over here, and I promised someone I would go on a walk with them at 9 o'clock. So, I will have to get off of here for a while at the very least, and go do that. But it was a pleasure streaming with you all. We had a lot of good conversations, and hopefully, I'll see you next time. If you haven't followed me yet, be sure to do so. Turn on the notifications so you know when I go live. So I'm off for now. Actually, before I do it, let me turn this in. You can see this phenomenon right here. Level 46. There it is. Alright. Now, I'm taking off, and I will see you all later. Goodbye for now.